You and your friends followed your brother alongside the creek on your 9th birthday. You wore new combat boots that squeaked and rubbed blisters into your heels. You unhooked the Kool-Aid canteen from its holster and shared the red Kool-Aid with your friends. Their mouths were bright red when they looked at your brother's holstered gun. For copperheads, your dad always said, more dangerous than rattlers since copperheads don't make any noise. You found a turtle, picked it up, and told everyone to come and look. Jay was good at science and said it was an eastern box turtle and it wouldn't come out of its shell, turtles not being tame like dogs or certain rabbits. Your brother was describing the species' habits when Adam grabbed it, mouth breathing, open and red. He flung it against a tree, breaking its body. Jay pronounced the turtle broken and dead. It rained that night, and after your friends left, you went and found the turtle's broken body and put it in a Cool Whip container. You punched holes into it with an awl that your dad used to adjust his belts as he changed sizes. You left the Cool Whip container underneath some bricks in your grandma's yard, underneath a walnut tree. And a month later, you opened it and recoiled from the bad smell and saw worms had eaten the turtle's flesh, leaving behind only its cracked shell, with its skeleton rattling inside. You took the cracked shell into your grandma's house and she saw it and said it had germs, but you kept walking back to your room. You placed the turtle shell on a shelf by the window with some other weird stuff you had. You had the ashes of an American flag that fell on the ground at your brother's Boy Scout camp, an Indian arrowhead you found in the front field, a gourd you found in a dilapidated chicken coop, and an old kerosene lantern your grandma said would one day cause the house to burn down, just like it did back before you were born when your grandpa was burning gourds. The turtle shell sat between the gourd and the lantern, covered in symmetric orange blazes, its crack just wide enough for you to get inside, you imagined. And you prayed that God would forgive you for the dead turtle, praying with your eyes open in case someone came walking along. When you were 5, you dreamed of becoming an Indian. You weren't sure which kind, since there are so many different tribes with different ways of life. You liked the Indians that lived on mountains and in forests the best, better than the ones that lived in deserts or on the plains. Your godmother was Cherokee, or part Cherokee at least, and one time you made her a birthday card that said, "Dear Bonnie, I love you because you are an Indian. Happy birthday." She kept it on her desk in the guidance counselor's office. Cherokee Indians lived nearby, so being Cherokee felt like a realistic ambition. If you drove into the mountains, you could even find them in their homes. You had a diary, and you filled it with drawings of Indian villages, teepees and wigwams arranged around lakes and fields. You knew that Indians didn't dress like your family members or the people who went to your church, and they ate different kinds of foods, lots of soup and special types of bread and animal meat. You watched Dances with Wolves when you had a migraine, and you threw up when the soldiers in the movie shot the wolf. And when you were sick on the couch, you got to see the lady's naked bottom in the teepee in the movie. At a flea market, you got some money from your mom and you bought an old wooden paint roller and pretended like it was a tomahawk at home. In your yard, you practiced throwing the tomahawk at old couch cushions. And your dog chased the tomahawk until she reached the end of her chain, and then she'd snap back away from the tomahawk. But the best was when you found an Indian arrowhead, which is really hard to do. Best time to find arrowheads is right after they plow the fields, your dad told you. So you walked through every row of the front field after your uncle plowed there. You walked up and down every day, a couple hours before sunset so it wouldn't be so hot. And you ran your toe through the red dirt, and finally you found one. When you were in middle school, you thought maybe you should become a Jew. You didn't know any personally, but your grandma always said her husband's family, people with your last name, were nothing but Jews. That was surprising, though, because technically everyone you ever even met was a Baptist. Your Sunday school teacher said Jews were always moving in the Bible, so maybe if you became one, you could move somewhere too. You told her about maybe becoming a Jew, and she said, if you want to be one so bad, you should read the Torah. So for Christmas, you asked for a Torah. The cover was bright red, and all the Hebrew letters looked like math. You didn't understand it, but it seemed important, even more important than the Bible. You knew it couldn't just go with the regular books next to the encyclopedia or the birds of North America. So you put the Torah on the shelf next to an old turtle shell, with the turtle shell kind of at an angle, leaning on the Torah so it would look important. Every now and then you just dust the Torah off with an old t-shirt and open it up and look at the letters. Then one day your mom put the Torah on a shelf with the regular books without saying anything, right between the last encyclopedia and the birds of North America. You didn't say anything either, and eventually you forgot about your plan to become a Jew.